What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, man, I thought that the Warriors would be able to turn this thing around, but they're still struggling. They're still struggling, and in a game that in which it looked like they were on their way to victory, they blow a lead. They blow a solid lead late in the game. Steph Curry, after having a strong first half against the Minnesota Timberwolves, gets completely shut down for the most part in the second half. Klay Thompson shoots like shit. D'Angelo Russell leads the charge for most of the game. Anthony Edwards, the star with the Timberwolves, struggled for most of the game, but he picked up the slack in overtime. And the Timberwolves were able to win in overtime, 119 to 114. And of course, they did this without Rudy Gobert, who's been a disappointment for the Timberwolves. He was out with the groin issue that he's been having for maybe 5 or 6 weeks now. I'm not sure. Steph Curry had 29, but I believe 21 of those points came in the first half. And the thing that really struck, because I watched the fourth quarter. I didn't watch all this game, but I did watch late fourth quarter into overtime. And look, I know it's in a lot of Steph Curry's fans' nature to make excuses for him. And I don't come at Steph Curry that often. I think he's an all-time great, one of the greatest shooters. Well, I think at this point he's the greatest shooter I've ever seen. But he missed a lot of easy shots last night. He choked, all right? He choked. The Warriors had something like 17 or 18 turnovers. Klay Thompson, 3 of 13, 2 of 7 from three-point range. Klay is just not the same player anymore, man. Wiggins didn't do much in the overtime stanza. D'Angelo Russell had 29 points before fouling out. Anthony Edwards had 27 points, only 2 of 11 from three-point range, only 10 of 26 from the floor. Naz Reid had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 10 of 22 from the floor, only 2 of 8 from three-point range. But I believe he's the one that had that big game-sealing dunk in overtime. And, I don't know what it is with the Warriors. At the beginning of the year, I thought maybe it was some of the pieces that they lost from last year was going to take them a while to make adjustments. Like, I thought it was, well, okay, they lost Gary Payton Jr., they lost Damian Lee, they lost Otto Porter Jr. I thought maybe that was part of it, but no, it wouldn't be that much of it. It's sometimes I'm just wondering if it's this team is just maybe it's just time that this team breaks up to a certain extent. A team has a certain shelf life. I mean, think about it. These guys have been together, the core, for a decade. Maybe it's time. Steve Kerr's been the head coach there for 7 or 8 years now. Maybe it's time this team just breaks up. And then, you also got to look at it, age. They're not the oldest players, but they got a lot of wear and tear on them, man. Since 2014, 15, this team has consistently been to the finals. So they got all these extra games on them every year, playing 100 and something games. 2015 they won the championship. 2016 they went to the finals. 2017 they won the championship. 2018 they won the championship. 2019 they went to the finals. Then Clay's had his injury issues, missed 941 games. Steph has been banged up recently, and I'm not giving them excuses. But I'm just saying. Last year they won the championship, had a long run to the finals. Now with Jordan Poole, that's a whole different situation with Draymond Green, and I think at the heart of this team, Draymond Green is part of what's wrong. I just don't think this team is as together as as other Warriors teams in the past. I don't think that you also have to wonder, has success ruined this team? Are they as driven as they used to be? Are they as driven as they used to be? And then part of it is, I think it's a multitude of different things. Then you got to wonder, is this team, is it that other teams have caught up to them? Other teams have kind of figured out the Warriors, and maybe that's part of it. But then you look at their home record, and it's pretty good. Not peak Warriors great, but it's pretty good. So I don't know, man. It's just something wrong with this team, man. But Steph Curry struggled. I want to look at Steph Curry's numbers right quick, because earlier this year, Steph was the MVP candidate as far as his production is concerned, even though the team wasn't doing very well. Steph this season is shooting 49.1% from the floor, which is way higher than he shot last year, 43.7% last year. Last year he shot 38% from three, which is actually not bad at all, but the lowest of his career. This year he's shooting 42.7%, which is on par with his career percentage of 42.8%. 91.9% from the foul line. He's a career 90.9% free throw shooter, which is number one all time. And he's averaging 29.7 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 6.4 assists. So Steph Curry's production is there. His production is there. But that's why I said the other day, you never question Steph Curry's production. But sometimes I do wonder if this team lacks a core leader, that alpha that other great championship teams have had. And, when you think about it, that alpha on past teams, I guess you would say it was somebody like Draymond, man, but has he run rogue this year? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.